Thank you for staying for the news. Now, in our first story, Ghana may secure that crucial financing assurance from its bilateral creditors before the end of this year. This is what Joy News has picked from persons close to the IMF in Washington, D.C. in the United States. Now, the IMF, in separate meetings with a Ghanaian team, also indicated it would move quickly to approve Ghana's program as soon as this financing commitment was secured.
In constant contact with the authorities in Ghana, we have worked very hard and very swiftly to have the program for Ghana, 3 billion support program for Ghana in place. We have been urging Ghana's creditors to act swiftly. My appreciation for also the proactive role of the Minister of Finance of Ghana in reaching out to creditors. We are expecting that next week there will be discussions among creditors, and I can tell you that I use every opportunity myself to urge them to act swiftly. Let's remember that Ghana for a long time has done really well to tap markets to finance its growth path. It has been like all innocent bystanders hit by COVID, hit by the war in Ukraine, and it has complicated domestically the ability to finance the budget. So a country that has long track record of sound macroeconomic management ought to be supported to return to markets. So our program is a bridge for Ghana, and to tell you the truth, I'm actually quite optimistic. I think Ghana is going to move. The creditors are going to move, and we are going to move swiftly. So I guess the short answer to you is stay tuned and stay positive.
Let's talk power now. And the Ghana Water Company Limited risks being disconnected if it fails to pay debt owed the Northern Electricity Distribution Company. The company owes about 62 million Ghana cedis, an amount NEDCO has vowed to recover. Northern Regional Correspondent Martina Bugri now reports.
NEDCO has begun an exercise to recover 1.2 billion cedis owed the company. The company says it's owing the Volta River Authority and the Ghana Grid Company in excess of 2 billion Ghana cedis. The company said if effort is not put in place to recover these monies, it has the tendency to run the company down. To begin the exercise, NEDCO zoned its operational areas into groups led by its managing director, Osman Ayuba, to undertake the exercise. The exercise with the managing director's team started with a visit to the Bagabaga College of Education, where the college currently owes 4.1 million Ghana cedis. Unable to pay the amount or reach an agreement with NEDCO, the college had its power disconnected. The next stop was the Aliu Mahama Sports Stadium and the Tamale College of Education, who owe 466,000 Ghana cedis, 3.5 million Ghana cedis respectively. These two institutions also failed to pay or reach an agreement and were disconnected. At the Tamale Technical University, an agreement was reached with NEDCO for a plan to enable them pay. Speaking to journalists after the exercise, the managing director, Osman Ayuba, told journalists NEDCO would disconnect the Ghana Water Company if they fail to settle the bill.
It's a long journey. It's a combination or a compilation of outstanding bills for the past years. And I think that we've not been very hard on them in recovery. And I think that is what has led us to this accumulated amount of system. Water is very essential. It's an essential commodity, yes. But they also sell the water and they get bills. We get disconnected when they don't pay us. So why should we not disconnect them when they don't pay us? So I think that there's no discrimination there.
Mr. Ayuba said the Tamale Technical University had agreed to pay 100,000 Ghana cedis while they laid down payment plan for subsequent payment.
I would describe it as generally a success. The one has been a success for me and my team. Where we are currently is the Tamale Technical University. We have visited them to impress upon them to pay for their bills. We've had some engagement, and following from the engagement, they've promised to pay us 100,000 Ghana cedis to offset part of the bill that they owe. So we are satisfied with the arrangement.
How much do you owe, sir?
They owe us in the range of 3.3 million Ghana cedis. But we have an arrangement with them on the payment plan prior to this exercise, and they have been following on that. They've never defaulted, and so we think that we are on course. But what has come out clearly is that we need to review that prior agreement that we had with them, so that we can accelerate the monthly payments to make it shorter for them to pay.
On to education now. Member of Parliament for Tamale South, Haruna Idrisu, is asking journalists to be circumspect in their reportage of the purported toilet-turned-dormitory at the Ghana Senior High School. The former minority leader says much of what has been put out there is not entirely factual and wants these negative reports to end. It's another report by Martina Bugri.
Mr. Haruna Idrisu was at the Ghana Senior High School to have first-hand information on the current issue trending. He toured the facility and the rooms where former President John Dramani Mahama lived as a student and prefect. Speaking to the media after touring the house, the MP said there was no official record to support the claim, but the facility has largely been used as a box room.
One of the educational institutions that with pride can even boast of producing the President of the Republic, President John Dramani Mahama. We've gone through to see where he himself used to lay his head as a student and then as prefect. My first appeal will be to the media to exercise circumspection and in reporting historical accurate facts about Cabral and Banzaba House, and much of what has been put out publicly is not entirely factual and accurate. Much of what has been put out lacks the historical perspective, and the lack of use of the facility even as largely reported as if there is an official record of students being posted to those sections referred to as students sleeping in toilets and bathrooms. There is no official record to support that view. It's largely been used as a box room.
The MP for Tamale South said the negative reportage can affect the emotions of the students and called for a discontinuation of the negativity.
We owe it to these kids that this negative reportage stops forthwith whilst we establish the full facts around the purported reportage of students being accommodated in toilets and baths. I do not have the full facts available to me, but I've gone around with you to ascertain some of the facts. As far back 1978, Master Goody taught me mathematics at the Baga JSS, and at the time that he was leaving the school, the facility was no longer used for that purpose. So when was it again used for purpose of a toilet and bathroom facility? We need to ascertain the facts.
Mr. Idrisu also raised concerns over the acute water shortage in the Tamale metropolis and called on government to prioritize the Tamale water expansion project.
Acute water shortage as you travel in and around Tamale is normal and acceptable practice. Parliament as far back 2019 gave approval for this government to utilize an amount of 276 million euro for the expansion of Tamale water facility. I do not know the status of that project. Far back 2019 into 2021, Parliament approved a facility for the expansion of Tamale water, which naturally will benefit Ghana School, benefit MP School, and benefit Tamasco, or benefit all other schools in the Tamale. And therefore, it's been of concern.
Now, in our next story, the Ghana Grid Company Limited has provided 2 mechanized boreholes for the Navrongo Senior High School in the Upper East region. According to students and school authorities, the boreholes will help reduce the level of truancy in the school, as the scarcity of water on campus often provides an opportunity for some students to regularly use the search for water as an excuse to skip classes. Correspondent Albert Tori now reports.
Navrongo Senior High School, Navasco, was established over 60 years ago. As the population of the school increased over the years, access to potable water on campus became a challenge because the number of boreholes was not increased to match the growing population of the school. With a current population of 2,034 students and 78 staff, the lack of access to water was affecting academic work in many ways. Mercy Babachuwe is headmistress of the Navrongo Senior High School.
This great number depends on only 2 mechanized boreholes and 4 manual ones. Out of the 2 mechanized boreholes, one was serving 6 student blocks and staff in the Eastern Zone. The other was serving 1 student block, the kitchen, the mosque, and staff in the Southern Zone. This resulted in constant breakdown of the pumping machines, thereby resulting in huge bills to the school. Besides these, students spend more time searching for water, resulting in truancy.
Help has, however, arrived with the Ghana Grid Company Limited, GridCo, the licensed operator of the National Interconnected Transmission System, constructing 2 mechanized boreholes for the Navrongo Senior High School. The boreholes, which have been commissioned for use, were constructed at a total cost of 100,000 Ghana cedis. According to the corporate communications managers at GridCo, Jifa Bampo, the construction of the boreholes was in fulfillment of one of GridCo's core values, care, which demonstrates the company's commitment to supporting its stakeholders in its areas of operation.
The Navrongo Senior High School is within an area of influence where we operate. We have a major substation, the Narania substation in the Upper East region, and so it's imperative that we support communities in the areas we operate, and it's part of our values. And so we supported the school with a 100,000 CD borehole. It's 2 boreholes which is connected to 2 dormitories. We are proud to be associated with this project because at the end of the day, water is a very important resource. Climate change is a major challenge, and so when there is no water, we all know what the impact is. There's a threat of disease, there's a threat of death as well, and so we are happy to provide this support to the Navrongo Senior High School.
Students of the Navrongo Senior High School say the mechanized boreholes will greatly relieve them of the stress of looking for water every morning to prepare for their classes.
Students used to wake up very early in the morning, around 2 o'clock a.m. just to get water. If not, they will be late to classes. Most of the times, students will leave campus, but when you ask, that they will say they were trying to get water from the nearby communities. But now the water is abundant on campus. I think no one will use that as an excuse again. The school authorities will not permit anyone saying he or she is going to fetch water outside when there is water on campus.
For Joy News, Albert Sorry, Navrongo.
Now, traditional authorities of Ziavi Lume in the whole municipality of the Volta region have appealed for support towards implementing an information technology community project. The community has raised more than 20,000 Ghana cedis through levies and sales of farm produce to furnish a structure to house an information communications center. There is more in the following report by Fred Kwame-Asari.
Ziavi Lume is an agrarian community settled 2 kilometers northwest of Ho in the whole municipality of the Volta region. Residents rely on proceeds from the sales of their farm produce, commercial motor riding, among others, to support their livelihoods. Realizing the government's inability to provide the community basic school with information technology education, the management furnished the school with some computers with support from an NGO.
Currently, we have only 1 desktop and then 2 laptops that we use to manage. Sometimes when we come to class, we have to divide the learners into badges, especially when we want to do some practical works. So sometimes it's quite difficult for us to teach the learners at the same time.
To ensure the pupils have befitting ICT education, the Ziavi Lume community decided to initiate a self-finance project to make available an ultra-modern lab. In line with this, the Ziavi Lume Ngoyi Yizan was therefore instituted to raise funds to construct a center to train pupils and youth in ICT. During the festival, indigenes home and abroad gathered to contribute towards the initiative. Through levies, donations, and auction bidding of foodstuff, a 3-unit structure has been completed to be furnished with ICT logistics.
Anami computer kezinuhi watemu amereche ne atemila anami ekpono kejiho aderu amereche atanami zikpi.
The center would not only provide training for pupils of the basic school, but serve as an incubation center to provide soft skills for the youth. The Dufia of Ziavi Lume, Togbe Ajakojo III, admonished residents to maintain the spirit of communalism to develop the community.
Mila dore mia du kome togbo egbe benenye be efe aga tro miaga adu zan du kome vide siadea necho edeleme du kome vide siade ne wo efe wo fe.
Fred Kwame-Asari, Joy News, Ziavi Lume.
Now, in our final story, Islam exempts pregnant women and breastfeeding mothers from fasting during the period of Ramadan. Yet, some women prefer to fast, though this will increase their nutritional demand during pregnancy. In the following report, Anas Sabit, as part of our Ramadan series, speaks to a midwife and a Muslim cleric on what to do during this period.
Ramadan is the 9th month on the Hijri calendar, and during this period, Muslims across the globe abstain from food and water from dawn to dusk. During this period, there are exemptions as to which group of people should fast or not. Today, we are focusing on pregnant women. What is the implications on them medical-wise, as in whether they can fast or not? And when they do, what effects is it likely going to have on themselves and then the babies they are carrying. This morning, I'm engaging a midwife here at the Techiman Holy Family Hospital to have the medical perspective of the effects of fasting on pregnant women.
In our health setup, we don't encourage pregnant women to fast. Even when before you come to clinic, we ask you to eat. So early in the morning when we come, we ask all of the women, have they taken something? If you've not taken anything, we encourage you to go and find at least porridge will do.
Grace Pokuya is a senior midwifery officer at the Holy Family Hospital. She emphasized that pregnant women who fast during the month of Ramadan could be putting themselves and their unborn babies at risk.
It's not advisable as a pregnant woman to fast, but there are a lot of consequences. When they come, you check the fetal heart rate. The fetal heart rate will determine whether the fetus is doing well. That is the well-being of the fetus. How is it? The woman who has not eaten or the one who is fasting, you check and you see that it's recording either tachycardia or bradycardia. So when you see it like that, you have to tell the woman to go and find something, either water, porridge, or whatever she feels she can eat to take in.
Experts have agreed that fasting while pregnant may also result in negative side effects, especially in high-risk pregnancies. This is because pregnant women require more nutrients than usual, and getting fewer nutrients while pregnant may place strain on pregnant women's bodies. Grace tells me that the situation could affect the movement of the fetus.
You see, when you are fasting, your sugar level goes down. And the woman, the fetus is feeding from you, the woman. You are supplying the oxygen, the nutrients to the fetus. And here is the case you are fasting. You can go to you can have hypoglycemia, meaning your sugar level is low. You can collapse as a result of that. When you come to the fetus, you see that a woman who has not taken in something, the fetus becomes weak. The movement is only the woman who can deduce it. Within 1 hour, the fetus has to move at least 10 times. And you are experiencing only one time. Within about 2 hours, is it normal? It's not. It affects the fetal heart rate, as I said. And even the growth is also affected.
Even though there is no clear consensus on the health effects of fasting during pregnancies, it is important to be aware of the possible negative effects, especially during the second trimester.
I can say they are all risky, but most one I can talk about the second trimester, that is from 3 months to 7 months, because that time when you listen to the fetal heart, you can deduce it well. Tachycardia, if I don't do anything to help this woman instantly, the fetus can go into distress. At the end of the day, the woman can abort. The baby can come prematurely, which is not advisable. The baby will end up in NICU.
So here at the Child Welfare Clinic, we have come across some pregnant women. We are engaging them. They are Muslims as well. Some are fasting, some are not. I want to speak with them and then have their take on how they feel when they try staying away from food during pregnancy. Let's speak with a few of them.
Yasmin Suleiman, on the other hand, tells me that she had to break the fast on the first attempt because she could not continue to stay on empty stomach for longer periods.
When the fasting started, I tried to do some, because right now I'm more than 7 months. I think 7 months and 2 weeks. But looking at the way I eat at shorter intervals, at least 2 hourly. So I tried, but the very first day, after eating at dawn, at 9 a.m., my body started shivering. And you know that Islamically it's not mandatory on pregnant women. So looking at how I was feeling, I decided not to, continue.
The first day fasting, I tried, but I couldn't. I break it. Yes. 11, and the baby is kicking in my so I can see that the pregnant women, they can't do the fasting.
From a religious perspective, healthier pregnant women are exempted from fasting if they believe that their health or their fetus's health might be negatively affected. Sheikh Khalid Umar Farouk is the Techiman Deputy Municipal Chief Imam of Al-Sunnah wal Jama'ah.
Oba waya oba pemfo ana oba wo ma abofra no fo anom tuturo pemfo animdefo wo ginabere ennan ewo mo so de dikan wo mo se ba wanyem nyinsenti na wontimi nkyira akyiriwia no ade wone so se wo be edidi sa akyiriwia no twamu a na wachi na akyiriwia no na wo de ahyem.
He, however, admonishes pregnant Muslim women who visit ANC during pregnancies to adhere to the instructions of health experts when asked to break their fast for medical purposes.
Minua ba a wutie mi saa mmerewe se nyankopon ahyehyɛ dɛ wakɔ doctor bi nkyɛn a wɔbɛhwɛw na hwɛ a wɔbɛhwɛw no ɛnyɛ mpensempensemu ana a wɔbɛyɛ ama wɔn ti no ɛfata sɛ saa da no akyiri no wugu no a ɛsɛ fata sɛ wugu saa akyiri wia no ɛbɛboa ma wo ankasa wɔ pɔmuden no yɛatim aba ho ban wo ankasa ɛne nyinsɛ ne ɛkura no yɛabɔ mo ho ban ɛsɛ fata sɛ saa da no akyiri wia no ɛbɛto hɔ wala ilma indallah.
Now at this minute, you might have a feel of, the health advice on pregnant women and Ramadan or fasting. Reporting for Joy News, Anas Said.